Ecclesiastes 2, verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. First and foremost, I want to give our honor, glory, and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone, who rule well and teach well. Shalom to those feel like men that scattered abroad, pushing this truth with all sincerity. And also shalom to your very few sincere sisters that's taking heed and getting order in these last days. Brother, I'm going to come to the quick lesson, low ones edifying and to the point. Right, I seen this article, right, a post actually, end time headlines on Instagram. Like boom, me and the brother were just speaking about this on the live stream yesterday. Talking about how these vacant buildings are being set up for what? Detention centers, and to push it even more, right? These things will be set up for what? If we take this MOTB, come out these detention centers having that chip inside your body, man. Right, so it says Trump converts 23 giant warehouses into ICE detention centers, and the main thing that popped into my mind was those two scriptures was Sirach 2:1, and also Revelation 2:10, right? But harping back on of Ecclesiastes 2:1, this is what we've been talking about, We're talking about in a lot of things, but this is right here going to be that main thing that the Lord was, warning us about. We counted the cost, to build, right? We come to a time period where you got to have your mind already prepared. Matter of fact, let's bring out a golden scripture, right? Another golden scripture, I should say. Isaiah chapter 33 and verse 6. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure. Right, one more time. And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. Right, and strength of salvation. Right, knowing what to apply. That's going to be your strength in that day. Right. He said, when you come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. How you going to prepare yourself for temptation? Right? You got to have that wisdom, knowledge, truth, and understanding. You got to have the accounts of our forefathers. Scripture says in the book of Romans 15:4, for whatsoever the things written aforetime written for our learning, and through the comfort of the scriptures, therefore we may have hope. Roughly paraphrasing, the thing that we've been learning on a day-to-day basis with the scriptures. Right, all of that is wisdom and knowledge. That's an anchor for stability, for this time to come. Because we already know that, when they start really picking Jake up, right, you northern and southern kingdom, right, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Natives, the Israelites according to the Bible, once they start picking you guys up, sending you to these detention centers, right, the main plan is to get you chipped, man. So seeing this was just like, damn, they steady rolling, they steady turning that gear, because we already know that all roads lead to the MOTB, Let me go back to Sirach 2:1. Just another video blowing the trumpet in Zion, giving warning what's at the gate, man. Warning what's at the gate, right? And like it states in the book of Ezekiel, 7:5, evil and only evil, bad times. So as you can see, right, which we already know that he has guillotines, right? Because this is a part of prophecy. These guillotines are not in this picture, as you can see, of course, right? But we know those guillotines are going to eventually come out, because it talks about the hour of temptation. You won't be able to buy a little trade, right? You can also be inside these concentration camps, and some will have to be beheaded, put to the test of not taking that C-hip, But like I said, I'm just saying, I'm looking past this picture right here, because we know the next step after this. The scriptures talk about in the book of 2 Corinthians 2:11, for we're not ignorant of Satan's devices, right? So we're familiar with the schemes that he has, man. We already know what he's leading it up to. This is the setup, right? We talk about gradualism. This is just that gradual, it's that pivot point, So yeah, I'm reading one more time. Trump converts 23 giant. That's crazy. 23 giant warehouses into an ICE detention center. That's crazy, right? And that reminds me of the scripture of the 10th part of the city has failed, right? We know these America's going to be split up into what 10 FEMA regions, man. Excuse me, and 23 giant man. That's crazy. You know, because I'm gonna say this because I know that my job is about to move, and that one warehouse, I want to say it's about 3 or 4 football fields long, right? 3 or 4 football fields long, and that's just one warehouse. You know, to the point you got to drive around that motherfucker, like on the on the little golf course thing, you know. So he got 23, right? And hey, I'm pretty sure gonna be in. Like I said, it's at the 10th part city that failed, so it's gonna be inside a lot of states, man. Need concentration camps, right? So that's what we're seeing right now. So let me go to the book of Revelation 2:10, you know, for the comfort, because hey, end of the day, it's about the trial of your faith. You know, it's about the trial of your faith, right? You know, I remember the elder Kazak always say, man, get down for your crown. You know, because at the end of the day, matter of fact, is it inside this verse? Let no man take thy crown. I think it's in 3. You know, end of the day, remember that. You know, it's going to take your crown. You already got it. You got to hold on to it. You got to hold fast to it, even inside that concentration camp. Yep. Fine. I'm going to read both versions, NLT as well. Revelation 3, verse 11. Behold, I come quickly. Hold that fast which thou hast, that no man take thy crown, right? It's wisdom, not truth, and understanding, right? Don't wait till you get to the concentration camp and bitch up, you know? See to the end, you know? Matter of fact, and like it says in 3 and 10 as well, right? But 2 and 10 was my point, you know? But I'm reading inside the NLT. It says, I am coming soon. It's like it. I am coming soon. Hold on to what you have so that no one will take away your crown. And that's a thing about the book of 1 Peter 5 and 8. You know, be sober, be vigilant. You're right. Your enemy Esau, right? The devil, come as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Right? End of the day, that's his mission, is to get you to what? Forget what you already have been accumulating over the time, which is not truth and understanding. Right? That's why I said, hey, when thou comes to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation. So use what you have and prepare, you know, to be a rebel in that time period. You know, go against it. If death is in that path, so be it. You know, it's comfort scriptures behind that as well, right? We teach about that as well. You know, the Lord died in what he believed in, and he had to go through it, right? The Lord is the author and the finisher of our faith. And I read 10, then I'm gonna go back to 2 and 10. It says, Revelation 3 and 10, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Right? We know the hour of temptation is coming. Inside the concentration camps, you don't know how long we're gonna be in there. You know, but we got accounts of beautiful accounts of, you know, of our forefathers getting fed. You know, Bel and the dragon. You know, Daniel. Right? Getting fed, man, in what? In a prison, in the belly, in the real deal belly of the beast, man. You know, but that's a part of keeping the patience, right? Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I also will keep thee from the hour of temptation, right? Meaning to what? Not give in to this MOTV, this new system. Cause that's what's finna. This is what's about to go down. They're setting these concentration camps, these ICE detention centers, and they're gonna be tempting you. You know, especially us men of the Lord, you few sincere sisters. You know, you claim you believe in these scriptures, right? Hey, the Lord, like, all right, what we about to see? You know, We're about to see, he about to tempt you. But always keep in mind, when I come to serve the Lord, prepare thyself for temptation, because that temptation will come upon, right? Will come upon you, right? Excuse me. So, Revelation 2 and 10, and I'm going to close out. We at the end, man. Why not give it all you got? You know? This Revelation 2 and 10, both versions I'm going to read. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer, right? Case in point right there. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Because we're about to suffer even more, but don't fear it. Behold, the devils shall cast some of you into prison. What we're seeing right now, we're seeing ICE going door to door, right? Grabbing up Northern Kingdom, right? We know it's going to trickle down the Southern Kingdom, right? We know that martial law is eventually going to play out because of this, right? This situation with the uproars, the migrant situation, you know that martial law is coming real soon, and they're going to start taking Northern and Southern Kingdom into the concentration camps, right? Scriptures talk about in the book of Jeremiah 18, I think verse 22, let the cry be heard from their houses, right? When the truth shall suddenly be upon them, right? But it says, behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried. Which can be tried? Hey, that MOTB, you lead this facility. Hey, here you go. This is your way out. This chip. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful, right? Matter of fact, let me back up some. Salakia. And ye shall have tribulation 10 days, right? A certain period of time. A certain period of time that you're going to be in there being tried, or them folks started harassing you to take this MOTB, this chip, right? And then, hey, if you don't, after the certain amount of period of time that they want you to take it, they may just put you in the guillotine. So what, right? Because let me finish this scripture out. It says, be thou faithful unto death. See? And I will give thee the crown of life. Matter of fact, let me grab a quick scripture right quick that I didn't have in mind, but hey, man. That's how the spirit flows sometimes. I think it's Psalm 108. Slacky, but I'm probably there. I'm probably too fast. No, that's not it. But I forgot the scripture where it goes into it's better to fear the Lord than fear man. Putting your faith inside the Most High than in princes. Salakia, that I couldn't recall that scripture. So I'm gonna go back to where I was, and Lord willing, I can put it in the comment section once this video is uploaded. Right. But back to the latter end of it says, be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. Matter of fact, in the book of Ecclesiastes 4 and 28, you can grab that. Right? It reads, strive for the truth unto death, and the Lord shall fight for thee. Right? And that is the point. Right? That's to show Yahweh Shai. That, you know what I'm saying? To give Yahweh, hey, look, this is a true servant. This man willing to die behind this truth, man. And we already know the dead shall rise first. Right? So I'm reading the NLT, and I'm gonna close out. Don't be afraid of what you're about to suffer, right? Because we're at the soft level of Jacob's trouble right now. It's about to intensify. Some of us will be picked up. Scripture talk about 2 Corinthians 16, I think like 40. Being ready for the battle, being like pilgrims upon earth. Some gonna be in the field, some gonna be in the concentration camp. But the thing is, you're prepared for this battle. Right, this is what this grace period was about. You're getting prepared for a major battle, right? The devil will throw some of you into prison to test you, right? And I speak about this a lot because I know I didn't have plenty of dreams that the Lord, let me see of me in concentration camps, So it's not just a thing that I'm teaching Of course, I'm teaching to the flock, but I also, telling myself this as well. Be calm. You've been laboring. Been building yourself up for a reason. Apply what you know, right? Apply what you know. It says you will suffer for 10 days, but if you remain faithful, even when facing death, I will give you the crown of life, and that's the beauty of it. Because once you gonna rejoice when Yahweh Shai, them 1,000 years, giving the belt to Esau in the nation, right? And hey, what's a better way than showing the Lord that you rather die behind what you believe in? Come on, man. Matter of fact, I'm gonna close out Revelation 20 and 10 since it says being faithful unto death. Revelation 20 and 4, that's what I meant to say. Salakia. It says, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Yahweh Shai, and for the word of the Most High, Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, and which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads, or in their hands, Salakia. And they lived and reigned with Hamashiach 1,000 years. Right? And that's beautiful. See the exchange? Man got beheaded. Got beheaded behind what they believed in, man. Right? And the Lord saw, hey, that's righteous. That's the Lord gonna bless you for that. Well, so why not if it come down to it? That's your testimony. No test, no testimony. You got nothing to speak on. You never went through nothing. Right? So close out with that, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. But just to bring this out, these detention centers is definitely here, right? We're waiting for one big Black Swan event, to really just pop this off into a different gear. And it's going to be up from there, right? Really no turning back now, but you're going to see a dramatic change real soon. So Lord, when this lesson was edifying, I want to give all the glory and praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Kakadash. Shalom.